Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to be making our Craft Roulette 218 card, and I've got these 3 marker sets from Altino. I've got Tropical Forest set, Cherry Blossom set, and the Red Cosmos set. Now I'm going to use the Cherry Blossom set and the Tropical Forest set for my salad colors that I need to have on my card. So our parameters today are anniversary, salad colors, new, and folded corner. So what I'm using are my new markers that are in salad colors. And I'm going to create an anniversary card. And so what I'm doing right now is I've got this little add-on that was in my package when I ordered that basically said thank you for choosing Altino. And this special card features a fan favorite stamp design for you to color in. So basically they tucked this in the order and gave it to you so that you could color it. And since I'm new to these markers, I thought I would give it a try and just color this little stamped image that they tucked into my package and see what I can do as far as turning out a card for episode 218. So I'm just going to do a bunch of coloring. Now there are 4 markers for each of these sets, and they all blend together so that you can use them. So I'm going to use all 4 markers for my leaves, all 4 markers for my flowers, and we'll just see what I come up with. Now, this is my first time using them, so I need a little bit of grace here using them, but I'm going to practice with them and see if I can improve. I always say on my channel, I'm not a colorist. I like to color. I'm trying to practice and improve, and so that's what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to use all 4 colors and get all of these leaves colored in and just kind of do some flicking motions in the in the areas where there are lines, where the ridges of the leaves would be, and I'll just kind of flick it. And I'm using the side of the marker that has the brush tip on it. These do come with the brush and a fine tip, and they are alcohol-based markers. So we'll just get colored in, and then once I get all of my leaves colored in, I'm going to bring in my cherry blossom set and then color in my flowers. Now I think I missed some of the leaves, and once I get to coloring my flowers, I can see that I've missed some of the leaves, and I'll go back in with them. Sometimes when you're coloring, it is hard to discern, what is the flower, what is the leaf, just depending on, how much detail they put on it. As far as, whether or not you can tell if it's a leaf or not. So I did miss some of those, and I'll come back in with it. Now this is stamped on kind of a light gray background panel. And so I actually decided that I will kind of color that light gray background panel in with green once I get it fussy cut out so that I don't have that gray showing through there. Now I'm just going to bring in my cherry blossom alcohol marker set, and I'll just start coloring up these flowers. Now this card that came with it says that this is from Build a Garden Rock Trumpet stamp set. So this is a rock trumpet flower, and I did look it up just to kind of see what colors they have, and I thought this cherry blossom set would work well with it. I think the Red Cosmos set would have worked just as well, but I thought I would use the cherry blossom set first and just see how that goes. So I'm just taking the lightest of my 4 colors and laying it down, and I'm just going to go light to dark with my coloring, I think, just to kind of back into it easily since I've not worked with these markers, and I'm just going to practice with them. So we'll just get all this colored in. So I had a busy weekend, and it was my husband's 45th class reunion weekend, and so I was busy all weekend. I didn't get to catch the live of Craft Roulette. I had to watch the replay the next day, and so I watched it while I was doing something else, and just kind of watched and listened and was multitasking, and I wrote down my parameters, and then I didn't have time to work with them until Sunday late afternoon, and just get my card submitted just in time so that I would have it submitted and then get my voiceover for my process video. So that's what I'm doing now. So I'm just working my way from lightest to dark and adding some detail in the areas where, the leaves or where the 2 edges meet or where something's laying on top of something else. I've learned that little technique from Lauren Taylor. She says that that's how you need to add your shading. So I tried to do that. But and it takes a while before this starts to look like something. At this point where I'm adding the dark, it starts to look pretty rough until I come back in and do some flicking on the flowers to kind of add a little bit more dimension. So it's all a process. If you just keep going, eventually I think you can turn it into something that's usable. There are parts in the coloring when I think, okay, I'm just going to need to toss this in the trash. But I'm just going to keep going, and I think I'll come up with something that I can use. So this is where I'm starting to do some flicking with some of the darker colors, and I'm getting a little bit more depth in the flowers, and it's starting to look like something. So now I'm just going to trim this off, and I kept that little panel because it tells you what the hashtags are you should use when you're working with them. So I want to use those and post them on the Alt-New site. Anyway, so I'm going to just fill in some areas that I had missed on my stems and stuff, which ultimately, once I fussy cut this out, I'll fill in all of the gray areas that are left with the green, and so that the gray won't show through. So here I've got it all fussy cut out, and I did cut out or colored in the areas that were gray, and I think I'm ready to use it on my card. So I just brought in some Spellbinders fern cardstock, and I cut it to A2 size panel, and I decided that I wanted to emboss it. And so I'm just reaching for one of my embossing folders, and I decided to use the faux stitched petal because it kind of mimicked the arch that was on the die. That's a Spellbinders die. It's a new die that just came out, and I'll link everything in the description box below. But I'm just running that panel through my embossing folder right now, and I'm going to bring it back in, and it looks just gorgeous. I love all the detail on that. I love embossing folders, and try to remember to use them just because I love them so much. And I'm going to just get it laid down on my card base, and then we'll bring in the pink. I had this scrap of pink cardstock here. I think I'd picked it up at Hobby Lobby, and I thought it was a great color to go with that marker set. And I thought the green and the pink just tied in the little stamp set that I did. So I'm just going to lay it down there, figure out how I'm going to do this, and grab a sentiment. So previously on one of my lives, I took my timeless sentiments that are new to Spellbinders and my press plate, and I had done several sentiments, and this one says sending you congrats, and I thought I could be sending you congrats for your anniversary, and that would meet the anniversary element of my card. So I'm just laying my panel down, and I've decided, because I've got such a straight edge on there from that panel that I cut, that I need to run it alongside the bottom because I think it would look weird floating. And then I've kind of got a straight edge along the top, and I think the sentiment, if I put the sentiment up there, it'll kind of cover up where that leaf and the flower just kind of abruptly are cut off. So I'm just going to position it like that, and I'll bring in some of my thin foam strips and just get it popped up, and I think that'll help tie the stamp into the paper and just take care of that real sharp edge I've got on there. So we'll get it laid down on there, and then I feel like I need something up top, so I'm going to grab some of my embellishments. But first I remember that I have to have that folded corner. So I just take that lower right-hand corner and fold it up. And then I think, I need to really make it stand out. So first I'm going to add some glue down there and get that pressed down to where it's really pressed down well. And then I'm just going to grab I've got some black scrap paper, and I'm just going to cut a corner off there, and I'm going to layer that up and put some black on there. And I'm going to do that because I know I'm going to use some black Spellbinders embellishments, and I thought it would tie the black in, and it would tie in the sentiment that I have done in the black ink with the butter press. And then I'll bring in the black embellishments, and I think that'll tie it together. I thought it was kind of weird to have to fold a corner on here, and I wasn't sure how I was going to make it look right, but I think this works okay, and it will meet the element of the card. So I'll just get these embellishments laid down there, and that'll pretty much take care of our card. I think it turned out all right. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.